Hey, my name's Scott, and I wanted to come on here and just share a bit of an update for the school project. And man, I got so much to share, but I'm going to try and keep this to 5 minutes or less. So the update on the school, I'm going to get to that in just a bit, but I had to bring just a little bit of some of the story into how we got to this update. So I want to start clear back at the beginning. So Daryl Schrock called me one night and said, "Hey, what do you think about moving to Detroit?" And we just started rolling that around, and the thought of like that crazy thought, like, yeah, what's Scott gonna think if I call him? Like, it just seems too crazy. That's literally how this part started, was just by a phone call. And so never just throw off a crazy thought, a crazy idea. Who knows but what the Lord put that on your mind for a purpose. And so I wanted to bring that story in because I don't know about you, but I like to play it safe. And when you have something, we believe that God will do amazing things, but yet when it's time for us to kind of stick our head out, it can be easy just to take the comfortable route, the safe route. I want to fast forward in our story just a bit to the first time we had DBC, so Detroit Bible Camp, come up. Woodlawn has just put a ton of time and effort into that. We thank you for that. They got an army together. There was over 40 people to come up to the park and to go out into the community. We knew that there was kids that wanted the love of Jesus. We knew that there was a need for it, and so we prepared. And as we went, that just before we went that first day, there's that feeling like, what if no one shows up? And just like what's everyone gonna think? And so you want to play it safe. And so that was another part of the story where just seeing God move. And then fast forward into the building that we currently are in. We didn't have a building, and needing a building, we had teachers. Devin and his family moved up here to lead the school. So we had teachers, and we had a need for a Christian education in the community. And Lord, we don't have a building. We need a building. And so just praying for that building, and God leading us to the building that we're currently in and providing the way there. And so we were super thankful. But yet, even through all of that, there's times where you're like, okay, let's just calm down a little bit. Like, let's not get too crazy. And so we felt the Lord leading us to this specific building. We've prayed over 3 years on this building. And yet there's still that thing, like, we know God can do it, but there's still that thing like, what if he doesn't, right? Like, what if we stick our head out there? And so we felt the Lord calling us to it. And we as a group just felt a clear leading. One of the closed doors that we prayed for, Lord, if we don't have 75%, that's what we agreed upon, of the funds raised by January 15th, which was yesterday, we consider that a closed door. And so the update is that we raised, through everyone working together, through the Lord providing, we're right at 1,383,000. So I'm just blown away by some of those numbers. I'm blown away by the generosity and how God has worked in so many people's hearts. So thank you. I mentioned some of those stories. There's so many people that have played a role into where we're at. I can't mention near all the names. There's so many names that have invested into me, into my life, and people that probably would have wondered, where's that kid going to be at in 15 years? But they've invested into me. And so thank you guys. Thank you for making a difference in my life. There's so many people that have made a difference, and just a huge thank you to that. We're humbled by what God is doing and how he has provided. It's a huge responsibility, and one that we want to take seriously. So that's the update where we're at. We're still raising funds to continue the purchase of this building. The goal now is to have, we're waiting on the hearing from the city. So the architect said that by all means, it looks like it's going to be no problem to move through the city. That's the next step, and then we move to closing. So we're hoping by the end of February that we could have closing. So I just want to share a bit of the update. The need, again, for just pouring into these young people in this community. Proverbs 31, the very first verse says, "The words of King Lemuel, the prophecy that his mother taught him." And so we see here that a mother's words are powerful. They affect even rulers or kings, King Lemuel in this case. And so we don't know how we're going to impact these children, right? But we're called to go and to care for them. And so thank you for partnering with us, and just, again, for praying for us. We feel super blown away by what God is doing, and we invite you into the story if you want to come and visit us. So thank you. Feel free to reach out if you have questions or comments. And thanks again so much for your support. God bless you.